What's next? Welcome to our YouTube channel, NoteSpire Music TV. I'm Paul Gibbs.
And I'm Nate Miller.
And we're going to try to not answer the question, what's next? So if you were waiting for us to answer it, sorry, we're not going to. But we're going to help you think about it a little bit. Think about that question, what's next?
So what is next?
We're going to help them think about the question, what's next? That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Well, I think first of all, it's important to remember that what's next, that question is different, obviously, for everyone, And of course, we're addressing you as a Christian artist, and you may be in that position right now where you're asking yourself, now what do I do? What comes next? And it applies to people if they don't like where they are, and that may be more likely for someone to ask that question, what's next? But you can also ask it if you are completely satisfied with where you are. You may be asking the question, how did I get here? I don't know. And the answer to that may be, it may be a series of very good things that have happened to you. Or it may be a series of maybe decisions that weren't quite so good. But either way, people can be coming to this place where we ask, okay, what's next? Yeah.
Right. So the good place to start when you're asking what's next in my career as a Christian musician or artist, what should be my next step, is find out where you are. Ask yourself that question: how did I get here? Wherever you are at this point. And the truth is that where you are at this moment is the sum total of all of your decisions and choices that you've made up to this point. This applies to you whether you like where you are or whether you're not happy with where you are. But the truth is that in order for something to be different, something has to change. Someone once said, and this quote is usually attributed to Einstein, that the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and to expect different results. So if you don't like where you are, or if you do like where you are but you want to go further, then you can't keep doing the same things. Something has to change.
Something's got to change.
And we want to help you ask those questions to figure out, what do you do next?
Yeah. And one question is to ask yourself, and this is kind of an obvious one, and maybe you've asked yourself this many times before, is what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And maybe right on the heels of that, or I should say maybe just before that, an even more important question is, what do you feel that God wants you to do? Yeah, address that. So, do you have people's goals, right?
Right,
Having some goals is important.
Right, so it's important to state your goals in detail. If you're really going to strive for something, you need to know where you're going. And when you know what your goal is, then you can decide what are the steps that are needed to get to that point. So we'll talk in a little bit more detail about an example for you to follow, but if it's furthering your career or your artistry or your creativity, having some hard set goals, some practical goals that you can actually measure and aspire to and attain will be very helpful to mark them down and to know what you're trying to do to achieve.
I think that's a good point, is to maybe a few things have to be revisited at this point, and at many points throughout our careers, is to revisit those goals. Maybe somebody wrote them down, and maybe they just had a few but they never wrote them down. It's time to do that. If you wrote them down, go back and revisit them. Put them on the fridge if you haven't. Maybe they've been covered up by some of the kids' stuff or something, some calendar or whatever, and they've been covered up. So uncover the goals, whether it's literally or figuratively. Uncover those goals and get them down. But also, how about revisiting the why?
Yeah. So not only defining for yourself where you want to go, what you want to achieve, but remembering why you're doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you revisit your goals, it's always good to go back and revisit the why.
Yeah.
Remember your mission, your vision, why you started as a Christian artist in the first place, why God called you to whatever you're doing, if it's a singer or a songwriter, an instrumentalist. Remembering that call remembering who you're trying to reach and the message that you have for them most importantly.
Yeah. And right on the heels of that, I'm just going to throw in real quick, consistency is a big one. And revisiting that. We don't need to really cover too much on that right now, but consistency is really, really important. How about some examples? Again, we can't tell you what's next. It's different for everyone, but we can maybe give you some, what we've been trying to do, give you some food for thought, maybe a couple of examples. For me as an artist, and I've been here, and I have seen other artists many times been, for example, in a situation where they go into a studio and they have written some songs, or they do cover songs, or a mixture of both, and they do a CD or a demo or whatever, and then they walk out of the studio with a nice demo or maybe 100 copies of a brand new CD, and they give them out to friends and family, and everybody says that's great, and out of that 100 CDs, maybe they give away 20 or 25, and they've got this box of CDs just sitting in a closet.
And then what?
And then what? And there's a perfect example where you can say, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And now in that situation, promotion is something that often is lacking. And I've seen it even before internet really took off with all the social media and things. Now we have all these options of getting our music out there to the public through all these social media. And for example, if you haven't considered video, then that may be something that might be a possible next step for you. For example, it says something we just read recently, 5 billion videos are watched on YouTube every single day.
It's incredible.
Wow, I can't believe that. And most of those videos, it says, are shared on Tuesdays. This is really on Tuesdays between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Yeah, who knew?
I don't know what time zone that might be, but that might be, whatever time zone you're in around the world. What does that say?
Right.
For that artist that's in that position, that's got all these CDs or this demo and this music recorded, what's next? Well, that might
Video.
be video might be a
Yeah,
next
if you
step.
haven't ventured into video yet, obviously that's very important. If that many people are watching videos on social media and you haven't posted any videos yet, that might be the next step that you need to take.
Yeah. Or maybe you haven't decided to even record yet. That might be the next step for
Yeah,
you.
you're just a live performer.
Just a live performer, and you haven't recorded yet. That's another. Again, these are options. We don't know where you are as an individual artist, but these are general next steps for some artists in certain situations. Yeah. What are some another thing that we can think of?
So another thing might be you might need to ask the help of another person outside of your inner circle of friends and family.
Right.
So that would be seeking a coach or a mentor to help you in any area of your performance or your songwriting, just your artistry, how to promote yourself, how to market yourself, just how to be a better artist overall. That might be something that you're needing, and that might be the next thing to pursue to get you to the next step.
The next step. Yeah. So we want to hear from you. Where are you in this whole scheme of things? Are you finding yourself asking, what's next? What do I do next? If you're in a group, a band, maybe it's what do we do next? Shoot us an email, leave us a comment in the description down here, wherever it is, and we would love to hear from you. If you've got a question, maybe you're in that situation, how can we help you? We would love to be able to do that. And I think they should be subscribing to this.
Yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with all of your friends.
Yeah. We want to be of help to you on this channel, and want to hear from you as well. So until we see you next time, take care of yourselves
And take care of each other.
God bless you. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye. And we're clear. And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Hi, I'm Paul Gibbs. He's not.
I'm Captain, and he's Tennille.
All right. Well, what's next?